Hi, good morning once more. Trying to make some decisions around here. We'll get into that in a second here. It's really whether or not we want to do a little more renovation. We have a food storage pantry room that we use for that, but right abutting that is another bedroom. It's a very small. It's a very small bedroom, and we don't really have what we call a half decent sized guest bedroom. And most people in the Philippines, they sleep in small rooms anyway. We have a lot of rooms here in the house, but the ones that are designated as larger rooms are, of course, my bedroom and, of course, the kids' bedroom, which is a half decent size. But the other rooms are very small. They're enough to put a single bed in there with a dresser, whatever, a fan, whatever. And they're adequate and they work and they do work. But I think to have one decent sized room for any guests that come over is important. Now, this room itself, divided by a concrete block wall, would be about, I don't know, somewhere around 11 by 11, the size of Fazio's shack. This is one room. Knock down the walls on there and make it into a bigger room. It's not a huge overtaking, except chipping out all that block, getting rid of the cement, and perhaps replacing a few tile because it's going to mess up some tile, basically, right where the wall is. We already have an opening in the wall up near the ceiling, which is blocked off, which you can put a small air conditioner. So that's all ready to go. That means taking the shelving down, taking all the shelving down in the pantry room, just finding another place to store the food. As far as paint cans, I got all kinds of tools, paint cans, and that's in my other storage room as well. That would mean also just building some shelves in that room, which we've been wanting to do for a really long time. So I think that's probably going to be my next project on here. It's going to be my next project. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I've been contemplating it. It's either do that or tile the outside walkway, which is concrete and looks like shit. But that's not really important. You live inside the house, not outside the house. And to have at least a decent size, comfortable little guest room with a double bed for a couple to come into and have a little air conditioner or a ceiling fan, whatever, and just have it decorated nice with nice pictures on the wall and making it very comfortable, very comfortable. And I think that might be my next project. Well, by the way, the monetization came through. You can see on there the dollar sign. The monetization came through. I had to activate it. Is what it was too. But nevertheless, moving beyond that, I think having a storage room for the food is important, but we could find a different place to do that. It's utilizing the room that you have in the house, which I think is more important. Hello, thanks for the thumbs up. I think using that room, making it bigger, because the bedrooms are very small. Well, at least the other one. My size room, my bedroom is a really nice size, but it adjoins which is now the kind of a little gym room, door, everything. You've seen the room. It looks a lot better now. So we got like ample space in my bedroom, even got a CR in here, the whole fucking bit, even another little walk-in area. So it really works. It really works out well. So how things are arranged around here. That's why I'm thinking about doing this project because I'm just gonna talk to the guy. Well, how much is that gonna cost to do this? If it's reasonable, I'll do it. If it's out of whack, I can leave it as it is. I mean, I can afford to do it, but I just want to make sure I get the right guy. Probably the last guy that did the tile. He actually did a good job, and he's very capable of doing other things too. So basically, it's getting rid of concrete blocks, and probably have to put another trim up there around the ceiling and stuff like that. And replacing a few tiles on the floor where the wall used to be, things like that. And just we've got these fold up cots. We got two of them actually. They're very workable, very usable, which could be put anywhere in a living room. If you got a number of guests, my living room could actually be used as a bedroom at night. Don't matter whether it's a living room or whatever it is. If it's a place to stay overnight, you can open up these little cots I have and instant beds. So to accommodate a certain amount of people, yeah, we want to be able to do that. To accommodate a certain amount of people. All right, where's everybody here? What time is it? About 9:30. About the right time on here. I hope you enjoyed my earlier show. No, I'm not getting philosophical on this show here. I just do it every now and then. my philosophical moments, which we really need more on here, actually. I'd love to listen to somebody's philosophy. If they had a philosophy at all that was actually worth listening to, I'd be willing to listen to their philosophy. Okay, that being said, hey, look, I could do renovations around here till the cows come home. I could add another section to the house, but why do I need to do that? I just think important renovations, such as making a half decent sized room, which is, be bigger than Fazio's whole shack, and that's just one room, you know, uh, for some guests to come over. I mean, make it nice. I mean, really comfortable, very attractive, nice things on the wall, you know. It already has the opening on the wall that's covered up right now for a small air conditioner. And I think that would work really well. I think that would. And actually, in its own sense, would add some value to the house, too. What do you think of that? Yeah. I think it's a pretty good idea. I'm not doing it yet, but it's on my to-do list. It's on my plan list to actually do. I thought about a few other things in here that are not really important, but we're gonna put more bars on the front windows. That's an important thing to do. We got enough security around here to begin with that I don't need that, but I still like to have these windows covered up and well, have the bars on them because I got them on the other windows too. I mean, why not just complete the process, and just get the bars in. That's not a real expensive undertaking at all. That's not expensive. Not really. It's just that the metal, well, it rusts. And you're always coming back and you're getting some enamel and you're repainting these bars. That's the only thing. It's safety, but it creates more maintenance. And that's what owning a house is all about. When you rent, you don't give a fuck. You figure their landlord is gonna take care of all that shit. If you're lucky, if you have a landlord who gives a shit, that's gonna do anything for you. That's why I was always a good landlord, and I certainly was. No matter what anybody says, I was a damn good landlord. You know why? Because a lot of my life I had rent, and as I grew up, my family never owned a house. We grew up in one apartment to another, one apartment to another, one apartment to another. Yeah, that wasn't a great lifestyle. And then you realized, that you either had a good landlord that really give a fuck and took care of things when they broke down, or they didn't. Anyone I've ever rented to, anything they needed, I provided. Refrigerator breaks down, I bought a new one. Stove breaks down, see if I could fix the problem without getting a new one, a new burner, whatever it might be. But if it was really shot, I would get rid of it and I would buy a brand new refrigerator or stove, whatever was needed. And you do it for yourself too. You don't just do it for the tenants. You're doing it for yourself, for your house, to keep the value. Why let things fall apart? What's going to cost you money later down the line? Now, here in the Philippines, you see this a lot. And sometimes the landlords have a lot of money or they just plain poor. They happen to own a property, rent it out to make money, but they really don't have the extra money to fix things up when they go sour. So you have to live with that. The last place I lived, she wasn't broke, but she hired half-shod workers doing half-shod work, and it never turned out to be well. In fact, she was really smart. When I needed to get rid of the jealousy windows in the bedroom, one place, you know, we went half on it. I mean, what a great deal for a landlord. The tenants are willing to go half on it because we had a small air conditioner in that room, and the jealousy windows. I mean, you were losing all that valuable air conditioning. It's costing you more money. So I figured, use the philosophy that, invest half in it. I'm going to keep most of the cool air in the room. Because jealousies, I mean, forget about it. You must, open the window and let all the air just flow out. That's all. Let it all flow out. Waste your money. Let your bill just go sky high. So you got to think ahead sometimes, and that's what we did. But there are bonuses of owning a house. You can make all the decisions you want, what color you paint it. You want to redesign it. You want to renovate it. You can do that when you own a house. You can't do that when you rent. Well, excuse me, out here you could actually, because the landlord, if it ain't going to cost them any money, they'll give you poetic license to do what the fuck you want, as long as it's going to look good for the house and make their house value. Now we got this one guy, you remember, Steve, Philippines Information Channel. He's renting this really dumpy place, okay, and he went out and you know he added on the property a couple of native type huts and whatnot, and and did some, I don't know, a little bit of painting and fix up on the inside of the house and all that. And the only one that benefits in the end is going to be the landlord because, she's not spending, or he, whatever it might be, is not spending any money on that. So, I say clean things up. If you think you're going to live there a lifetime, then okay. I say, well, landlord ain't going to mind. So if you want to renovate their place because you feel that you are going to live there till the day you die and you want to make yourself comfortable, you could do that. The landlord is not going to complain and say, you can't do that. As long as you're spending the money, they'll give you license to do anything you fucking want on their property. As long as it's considered an improvement. Okay, now if you're going to wreck somebody's place, they're going to throw you out, like I had to do. So it works. It's according. How long you're going to live there, keep that in mind. Sure, you can make improvements on a place for the landlord. She'll love you to death. Of course they will. It's not costing them any goddamn money. So there you go. It works very well. Let's see. We don't have any people on a dialogue here today. Maybe because I did a show earlier today, or maybe okay. I guess Big Kevin is on. I think he was scheduling a show or something on there, wasn't he? I thought he was on anyway. Might be. I hear the same shit on there all the time. What the fuck you need to listen to him for anyway? Same old shit, ringmaster of the trolls, and put some jingle in my pocket and blah 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 blah. Okay, you missed one show of his. You go back to the next show and or go to an old show and you didn't miss anything else. It's the same old shit with the same trolls. I wasn't thinking about that on the timing on here when I came on. My apologies on that. So I'm competing with another person who's actually live right now. That's okay. And we still go on. We still march on here. And there's a few other things in the makings around here that I can't talk about. So moving forward is the definitive two words for me. Moving forward in several different ways. Is it going to be channel improvement? Are we going to stay here like a good boy? What are we going to do with this channel? Do we want to renovate the channel too? I think it's okay where it's at the moment. I could use a little bit of graphics on the opening of the channel. That would be something I have talked about before, but I never executed. But it's not really important. I told you, I'm just a basic channel, grassroots. That's all it is. I don't expect to ever be at 100,000 subscribers. That's never going to happen in my lifetime. Unless you want to buy them like some people do. And they all say I buy my subscribers. But where's it been moving? Do you see anything being bought? Look at my numbers for several months. I mean, I haven't gained that many, only a few subscribers, here and there. And I've picked up a few. I actually have. But they were not bought. If I bought them, they would be like another 100 or another 500, 600, 1,000 or whatever. Yeah, I took notice that Jasper had 3 shows that he was going to be, says upcoming. Now, I'm not trying to promote Jasper, but he's kind of on the low side these days. And I think because he went back to Boracay, he's got a lot of people after his ass. I think that's what's going on. He's trying to play it careful these days because things got really out of control. And that's what happens when you get cocky on your show. Things get out of control and you wind up in a really bad position. Really bad position. Let me check. Oh, never mind. I don't care whether he's doing a show or not. It don't really matter to me. Big Kevin's always trying to get me to come on there. Not that he likes me, but he figures out it'll bring more people to his channel and you get more donations. Yeah, everybody knows how to do it. They figured out how to do it. What, 3 thumbs up? I guess I should be grateful for that. Have 3 thumbs up? Okay, being very generous today. Yeah, I should have came on a little bit later. It's pretty early because I already did a morning show. My little philosophical thing that I like to incorporate into my show. But you either learn from it or you don't really. But I like to listen to a few people's shows here and there. Not the regulars you hear on here all the time, not the trolls, but the ones I do listen to. Even some of the best ones really don't get philosophical about anything. Really, it's just straight out to make it very abundantly clear that I'm here to make money, and I'm gonna throw out something for the sake of throwing something out. And if you grab onto it, you grab onto it. You want to donate, you donate to it. It does those kind of channels. But there are some of them that I thought were so incredible. People that are just obsolete. I mean, some people that you never even heard of. I came across a few channels that I thought were exceptional, that should have a lot of growth and time to their channel, but once they're discovered. And I'm not really going to promote anybody. So I'm not going to really tell people where I go to listen to a channel because they'll just go there and make it hard for that particular channel. I don't really want to do that for them. Not really. Okay. So we don't have any dialogue here on this show. We had on the last show. So we're not getting any dialogue here. Let me grab my phone here. What I did with that. Hold on a second. Okay, I see what's going on here. Kind of competing with the audience of Big Kevin. James Caldwell is asking, did Brevis leave the Philippines? Let's see. Any interesting comments on there? All these people just basically making really ridiculous. I just saw you on Big Kevin's, Ken. Yeah, I'm back. Monetizing everything. Yeah, believe it or not. Okay. I was just reading some of the comments on here. I know that Big Kevin would love to have me come on his show, but that's not ever going to happen again. It's just not. See Pennsylvania truckers on there as usual. What a fucking loser. I guess Flying Circus got kicked off too or something. Yeah. I don't know what's happening with expat trash in the Philippines. Ricky claims they're off or something, but they're still there. Just waiting for them to post something actually new on there. We'll see. The world ain't going to stop and end if they don't put a show on, okay? Pennywise, greetings and salutations. Where have I been? No, it's where have you been? I've been on here. I was off for a couple of days or so. That was about it, okay? Now, we have to straighten out all this shit on the monetization. I got paid, blah, blah, blah. But apparently, the past few days, I had to go enable the super chat on here because it wasn't enabled. I thought that automatically just happened. I mean, not a big deal, but interesting to figure out how these things actually work. You assume that you're going to get your super chat thing on there, but no, you have to actually go to your settings and actually enable the super chat. That's kind of how it works. And I didn't know that. I thought it was an automatic thing anyway on there. So it doesn't look like much is happening on Big Kevin's show. It's the same old shit. Kevin trying to make a little jingle for his so-called trips and money to his children, which I've never bought ever. Rant? Who's ranting? We got to listen to my earlier show. This is my second show this morning. A philosophical thing. It's still on there. You can listen to it. Sometimes I actually listen to some shows while I'm on my treadmill. I mean, not anything negative, but I turn it on sometimes and I got an external speaker too. That works out really well. Oh, ranting. Why do you call it a rant? No, Big Kevin's show is a rant. I'm not a rant on my show. I don't rant. Boring conversation. John Baloo. I just got a Hope cedar chest to my wool stuff, 42 inches by 2 feet wide. How exciting is that? I don't listen to that crap. It's really, Kevin's show is basically a show about nothing is what it is. Tried watching a stream you had done earlier, but it was removed by a channel owner? No. I put something on private or something, then I put it back on. I've already done a show earlier today. No more than that one and this one. But that's back on. Removed by owner. Well, I'm the owner. Probably went to private or something. Then I just clicked it back on and said, what the fuck? Some ads are coming up. I have to deal with the advertisements on here. Well, at least that's happening. Not a bad thing. Illuminati. Making some comments on Big Kevin's show. God, just boring. I tuned in a little bit to that and just boring as shit as usual. Of course, Big Kevin, I had to throw it in. I said, I'm live, I said. And right away, he'll try, well, Frank, why don't you come on here? Yeah, I said the spider to the fly, why don't you come on here? No, I'm not going to. I'm not promoting anybody anymore, even in the slightest way, not whatsoever. And people keep on asking me what's happening with Barry. As I said, there's really nothing to talk about except the process is going. Good to see you weren't chased off. No, I've never been chased off YouTube. Your show is one of the best. The 2 videos, Lima Brava and Sausage Man, were private. Cannot be seen. Really? I have to put them on. No reason to take that off. I'm not sure why I did that. Not really sure at all. Looks like we're getting a little momentum. We got 12 people in here now. Get you tired of Big Kevin. I mean, what could you listen to a Big Kevin show, really? Nothing. You got the same assholes that show up on his show. And Big Kevin's over there trying to jingle money out of everybody's pocket. That's all it's about. It's good for his. Well, yeah, I will say, look, I'll be honest with you. I've tried that during the day. It's either Fazio. I'm not sure who's the worst, Fazio or Big Kevin's show. You're right. I could actually snore out to. Okay, it's like watching paint dry. No, Pennywise. I'm not going to deep into any drama on here. If you don't like that, go back to Big Kevin's show. You'll get plenty of that kind of shit that you're looking for over there. Illuminati. There was another attempt to give his channel a strike, but it didn't work. YouTube said I was covered by fair use policies. I don't have to do a thing. Mm-hmm. Mike Dowdy says that Ricky alluded to big things, trying to scam CW out of some more money. I'm just reading the comments on there, you know. And Illuminati says, I think CW donated a lot of money to Barry. Sure he did. Of course he did. He don't watch that channel much. Only go there if you are there. Well, I make that channel. Okay, Pennsylvania trucker. What a space case that guy is. God damn. The only walking that guy does is from his truck to a diner. I'm not kidding. He smokes like a chimney, and he's sitting all day in the fucking truck at night. That's a recipe for disaster if I've ever seen. Why does Fazio continue to shuffle? Because there's really nothing else to do. He wants to feel that he's keeping busy, you know. And I guess that's his way of doing that, or he'd really go out of his fucking mind. He's a very lonely man. You haven't figured it out yet. He's got to feel like he's doing something that is moving him forward, but nothing he does around his rented property is doing anything for him, really. It's not improving his life in any way. But, you know, in his mind, you know, he can't just sit in that little tiny hot room all the time. He's got to go out into the hot sun. Which is worse, and talk about how much of a real man you are. Yeah. But yeah, we trying to iron things out on the channel here. We finally got our super chats thing on here now. It was something very easy to do. Pennywise says, is Fazio's lover Daisy there with him? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. That's for a long time. She may come over to visit now and then, or he may have a health situation that's going on, and then she may come down to kind of look after him or something. But there has to be some money involved with that. Illuminati says on August 27th, Barry will be in jail for exactly 4 months on the 27th of this month. What's that word to you guys? It's August 27th. Ken Unger says Daisy stops and from time to time to use the Oh, absolutely. Now, he'll give money to her. He'll be cheap-ass with everybody else, but he'll give money to her to have her around. He was a very proud man when Daisy was staying with her for all that. He let people think that was his actual girlfriend, and it didn't make him look bad, like the old man who lived in his shack, that he had this girlfriend, that somebody actually had an interest in him. But unfortunately for him, he was fooling himself, and she had no interest in him whatsoever, except a place to go and to hang out with, because her family probably had a situation going on with her family or something. And even if it meant living in a hot little shack like that, man, I just could not. Oh, shit, man. I just could not do that. I could not do that. I could not live that way. Damn. Let's see. I'm just going over some other comments on his show here. God, what a boring show. Big Kevin never had an exciting show since he's ever been on there. It's unfortunate for him, though. It's really not looking like he's got a great future. Your body can't handle that kind of weight all the time, and he's pretty sedentary. Especially now, more so that he's trying to, get his knees to heal from his implant on one of them and whatever. I don't know if he's doing both of them. I don't really give a shit either way, but he's, I don't know, man. Everybody's got to do something with their time, I guess, and, but the guy can't even walk to that pond in the front yard. I mean, he has a hard time breathing and everything else just to go to the pond. Well, Kevin lost weight over time, but he's still incredibly obese. It's not good enough. Well, the only reason Roberto lost weight is because he had a gastric bypass. That motherfucker was probably at least 325. I guess he said last time he was 201, which is better. But shit, to have a gastric bypass to do that, that's pretty serious shit. And as I said, I don't trust those gastric bypasses. There's always something that goes wrong later on. Fazio holds out hope to find another Warren type to pay for the rest of his life. Yeah, well, And that's what they do. Oh, we're 16 strong despite Kevin being on. That's pretty good. That's okay. I don't know. He could have been more than that. He could have. He don't you understand? He's been pretty sedentary. He admitted years ago that he doesn't. He's never done labor work in his life. He was never a laborer. He was always sitting on a desk on a chair or something. And maybe he did administrative for the Coast Guard. He was just on call. He was just a reserve, in my understand. He's always been on the job. You know, I don't know if it was insurance tracers or something. I mean, he's always been behind a desk, and that's not good. Of course, you're going to put on weight. That goes without saying. I mean, doesn't it? Yeah. My weight has been. I'm on like 171 right now. There was a time a few weeks back or so I was like 176. I said, "What the fuck is going on?" I might have even reached 177 if I can remember, but I'm back to where I was, and that's not a bad weight at all. That's where I want to kind of hold in around that weight. Yeah. Has Kevin made any donations? I'm not really following. Yeah. I don't know. I just think you get what you put out on your show. People get to know you for that. What would happen if Kevin wasn't around, Roberto wasn't around, all the idiots weren't around? What would people listen to on here? I tend to wonder, Let's see. Pennywise says Roberto and Kevin probably both waddle while they walk. Both have knee problems. I wasn't sure about whether Roberto had knee problems. I would imagine he probably did. That usually goes to the territory. And I would gather due to the weight issues. Yeah, it's all related to weight. Green Newbie. That video which Brian did on the Fazio Hotel, which you narrating. Yeah, I heard that. I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. Of course, I was the one that was saying the shit, but whether he asked me permission or not, well, it don't matter on here. Well, I said the truth. I mean, it is what it is. I get bullshit, but why bullshit? I know. Was that thing the neon light, Fazio's Hotel or something? He's hoping to make a big pile of money off Ricky. I don't know when the court thing's coming up. These things take time. I have no idea. He's hoping to make a whole lot of money. It's still not going to be enough to put a hotel together. They say, look, okay, here we go with the word sensibility again. You're 67 and a half years old. You're not in good health, really. You're obese, got bacterial problems on you and your leg, and whatever the problems that you have, high blood pressure. Okay, I mean, was it not AI generated? No, I said that. On that thing that Rich Bong put up? No, that was me. That was not AI. That was not AI generated. No, not at all. I'll tell you when something's AI generated. That wasn't. But I think the idea at his age, and considering certain health considerations, that even if he had the money to actually build a hotel on a leased piece of land anyway, I mean, it wouldn't, it's just not advisable. It sounds stupid. By the time it's built, you might be dead. It's just doing the landlord a favor that you're leasing the land from, and he'd love you to build. He'd love you to build a house on there. I mean, hey, go for it, man. Why not? Landlords are funny that way. Yeah, you want to improve my property, man. You can do whatever you want, man. No, there's never going to be a hotel. A lot of people thought this was a big hoax or something. I think he really, in his mind, delusional as he is, I really think in his mind, he really thought he was going to build a hotel in his own mind. I think he really believed that. But he was depending on one particular person, and that was Warren, mostly. And Warren threw him a bone. I mean, well, they did that to each other. They did. And they was just using each other for time and conversation. And so the conversations that I had with Warren, holy crap, what he told me, that, Yellow Man would get irate if Yellow Man tried to call Warren up and he didn't answer. He'd ring that phone and ring that phone and ring that phone until he pissed off Warren so much that he had to answer the phone. He was either trying to sleep or whatever it was. And then he would put sanctions on Warren. I'm not kidding you. This is coming from Warren. He would put sanctions on Warren if he didn't answer. It's going to cost you $1,500 American dollars, if you don't answer your phone. Can you believe somebody saying that to somebody else? Oh, Warren's alive. Just trust me, Warren's alive. Goes under a lot of names on here too. He's Johnny Wad. Johnny Wad is actually Warren. If that, I'll give you a familiar name. Johnny Wad is actually Warren. If you couldn't figure that one out on your own. Yeah, Johnny Wad is actually Warren. He goes by other names too, whatever he's in the mood for at the time. Warren is alive and well. How well he is, I don't know. I don't think so because he has also a huge obesity. But that seems to be a common denominator, not just on YouTube, but outside of it. I mean, obesity has taken over the world, especially in America, and we're seeing it hit home over here in Philippines too. How obese people are becoming, mostly the women, mostly I think. My God, it's killing people. We're supposed to be living longer because of good health measures and medicine and all that kind of stuff. People are taking a different route. They're putting themselves in a worse situation where they could have had some good longevity, but then they eat like a horse and become a horse and or a fat cow, and they can't get rid of that weight, and they develop diabetes, heart problems, all that shit. Let me tell you something. If you're unfortunate enough to have diabetes, that's like a death warrant. Like I told you, I'm not turning this into a health show, but every metabolic function in your body is going to be affected by your diabetes. It doesn't get better, unfortunately. Again, when you're carrying that much weight around, it's really playing havoc on your heart. So a lot of your favorite characters in here that are obese, they're not going to be around that much longer. It's not even that I'm wishing that to them, okay? I'm just giving you a fact. I'm sorry, I don't have to have a degree on my name here with an MD on it to make that. It's an educated statement, is what it is. And it's just an obvious, sensible statement that if they are in situations like that, they don't usually last long. Where they could have lived to maybe 80 years old, they may kick out at 66, at best 67 if they're really, really lucky. Also, if you're really too tall, you're a really big guy, uh, you generally don't live too long either. When you're an extra tall, like 6'8" and above, and that kind of height, or even 6'7", you don't generally live a longer life. And the same thing goes with small people, midgets, and so forth, whatever you want to call them. Uh, they also don't tend to live very long. It's sad, but it's true. Yeah, there's like a certain standard of on human anatomy generally, but when you are beyond the standard, either too fat, too waif thin, too extremely tall, they always have so many problems, and they just develop as time goes by. So a lot of these guys that are, look at Andre the Giant, how tall that mofo was, almost 8 feet or something. I don't know. That guy had, oh God, how many problems, which eventually led to his death anyway. No, when you're like, above 6'5" and above, especially well above that, yeah, you'll have heart problems eventually. You'll have definitely joint problems. There's no doubt about that. I mean, everything I know about that points to that fact that you're really not going to have a really long life. And then you want to add the other factors. Do you like to drink? Do you smoke? All that other shit. Are you active? Well, that helps if you're active. But I think your joints, when you're that tall and big, is carrying around a lot of weight. And it's a lot of friction on your joints and everything else. And then you go out and you think you're doing good for yourself by walking, which you are, but walking on hard pavement and trails when you're that tall and everything is just kind of friction rubbing together, synovial fluid between your discs disappear, and you have major problems. And then you have being that big and tall. Then you have problems trying to find clothes to wear. I mean, it's got to be really hard, especially in the Philippines, to buy clothes to be that tall and big. Man. Green Newbie says that they say that if you walk every day, your chances of living longer are greatly improved. Yeah, it's certainly going to help. But I'm saying on the mechanics of it, I was talking about the mechanics on your joints and all that. That takes a lot of havoc if you're really big or overweight. Andre, yeah. Also, do you remember that character that played Little Me on Mike Myers? What was that movie? And I forgot his name. I know his name, but I can't think of it. He was a drinker. He was on that Drew, the psychiatrist, the doctor show. Oh, Vern. Thank you. It was Vern. And he was cantankerous. Oh, my God. He was on that show they had on TV with Dr. Drew, who was doing this rehab thing. And they'd put these usually useless stars that were like, used to be big, would come on there, get a little publicity. And they'd go on that show. And Vern was on there. and he was uncontrollable. That little guy could be a mean little motherfucker if he wanted to be. He'd go into alcoholic rages, this guy. Yeah, little guy. Oh my God, he really would. Oh, is that what it is, Verna Troyer? Okay, thank you for that. Yeah. He was a wild little guy. I tell you what, some of them, they had full-size women now. Come on, that's pretty obvious what that's all about. And I don't think anybody's going to disagree with on that. Yeah. They smell money. Some of these women smell money. No matter how small the guy is. I don't even think it was possible for them to have sex, really. When you got a little guy like that with a full-size woman, 5'8" and above. I don't know how they figured it out, but I guess there's a will, there's a way. I have no idea. But then again, you might be surprised. He could be hung like a fucking horse. Some of these small guys, you don't know, could be hung like a freaking horse. How about some thumbs up, people? If you're not going to donate, at least give a thumbs up on here. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, some of them have attributes that you probably wouldn't figure that they have. Hung like Shaq. Yeah. Shaq. Oh my God. That's a huge guy. Damn. You know, yeah, I just really wouldn't want to be that big. I mean, I'm talking about height and stuff, not that. I'm talking about height. It's too much of a hassle. You're always in view by somebody checking you out. You know, you got to buy certain size clothes and you can't buy it in the average store. Your hunger needs are probably greater than the average person. Automatically, you figure, I bet you do it too. I bet you all do it. You meet somebody in the street or in a restaurant, and they're like extremely tall. First thing you might expect, you might ask him, oh, did you play basketball? Well, actually, a lot of these people did play basketball. They were in great demand back in high school. If you were like really tall, they wanted you to go on the team or join the team. That's what they did. And not everybody kind of was interested in basketball, but they automatically assumed if you were that tall, you probably played basketball somewhere along the line, didn't you? Well, take advantage of what your attributes are, I guess. If you're interested in basketball, you know, why not? Why the hell not? You know, got to make a living somehow, but a lot of these guys burn out anyway. I liked a little bit of volleyball. I didn't mind that. Yeah, Rick Shaw's pretty big. I haven't seen his recent shows. I mean, I've seen some of them while he moved to the United States. He's still bitching and whining. I guess that'll never change. But I was on, believe it or not, I was on cross-country running before a short period of time, though, till my ligaments in my feet were fucked up and I just didn't want to do it anymore. And I didn't have the long leg. I mean, you know, I think there's an ad coming up here. Might be an ad coming up, so hold on. It actually tells me when an ad's going to be coming up on here. Yeah. Oh, really? You do? I don't know what to make of him, to tell you the truth. You know, he said he owned $14 million, another liar. I've spoken to him on the phone, okay? So you say you talk, but I've spoken. Yeah, I've actually spoken to him a couple times, actually. Claims he has $14 million. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. You say so. Yeah, well, why are you in this position? People have to help you buy a bed, your brother, and everything else. I don't know. Yeah. Willie Abrams guy. Willie Abrams. I'm trying to think of Willie Abrams. Are you talking about a YouTuber or a basketball? I don't think I'm familiar with the name. So what sports was I in? I was... a short period of time, I was in cross-country running. That didn't last very long because my ligaments in my feet, both of them, were fucked. Not like, and that was high school, but I didn't actually. What is that? That was in high school, but I didn't join any of the teams in high school, like volleyball or nothing. But I didn't mind volleyball. That wasn't bad. I never spent much time on that. And then, of course, there was. Outside of school, there was a little bit of martial arts that I got involved with. And that was really about it, really. I've never been a person to sit down and watch baseball games or football games. I had no interest in that, and I still don't really, you know. I like adventurous sports to look at. You know, I want to see people doing some really exciting things, you know, out in the outdoors, you know, whether they're climbing a mountain or whatever they're doing, traversing terrain. I mean, you know, survival shows, things like that. I bet Frank was on the debate team, captain of the debate team. Hell no. I kept a low profile in high school. I was not out in the limelight. I was just not there. No. Debate team cap, where you can under. Yeah, you seem to type that. No, man. I went to school and I went home and a bell rang. That was about it. I wasn't one of those guys in between, breaks, classes, out in the back smoking cigarettes, chasing the girls, and trying to show off your new car to get the girls. I never had a car in high school. You know, I didn't. I just, I wanted to do my time like prison. I wanted to do my time and get the fuck out of there. We had our eggheads, we had our greasers, we had our, we had a whole, like anywhere else, you had different classifications of people, that were active in theater, and of course Denzel Washington. I got a list of people that would shock you that came from my high school. I'm going to tell you who that is in a second here. You'd be surprised who was in my high school, and some of the names you may not recognize, and some of them that you might. So let me find this again. Famous people who came from Mount Vernon High School, New York.
Here's a summary from Wikipedia. Other notable alumni: Ry Benjamin, Olympic hurdler; Ralph Branca, Major League Baseball pitcher; Art Carney, actor; Dick Clark, television personality; Heavy D, rapper and actor, and more.
Let's see. Let's get to a list here. My high school. I'm not shitting around. We're in Westchester County, New York. And they had a list here. I want to find that. Okay. The sports, basketball, other notable alumni. How about all of them? But other notable alumni. We had Ray Benjamin, who was an Olympic hurdler. Ralph Branca, a Major League Baseball player. Art Carney, the actor, you know him. Dick Clark, how could you not know him? It was my high school. Heavy D, the rapper and actor. Janet DeFlore was the chief judge of New York State Court of Appeals. George Latimer, Westchester County executive. Arthur Patrick, social worker and academic. Pete Rock, a rapper, DJ, and producer. Ken Singleton, Major League Baseball player. C.L. Smooth was a rapper. J.B. Smooth, actor, comedian, writer, my school. Al B., singer. Denzel Washington, my friends. My high school, Denzel Washington. Okay, E.B. White, a writer. God, there's a big list on here. Yeah, they all came from my high school, believe it or not. Shit. NBA player, Gus and Ray Williams, National High School Power brothers, Gus and Ray Williams, Earl Tatum, and Rudy Hackett. Earl Tatum and Rudy Hackett. All four ended up in the league. Gus Williams was a two-time All-Star and wound up leading the Seattle Supersonics in the NBA title. Okay. Let's see. Dick Clark, man. Jeez. New York High School alumni. Mount Vernon High School alumni. We got old Denzel. Hey, Denzel Hayes Washington, born December 28, 1954. My age. American actor, director, producer, has been described as an actor who's reconfigured the concept of classic movie stardom. Nationality American, occupation actor. Born Mount Vernon, New York. Heavy D, a rapper. So many. Al B. Shore. I went over some of these. Dick Clark, of course. Some of the big names. Art Carney. Everybody knew Art Carney. If you're a rapper, you get into these like Pete Rock and J.B. Smoothie. Ken Singleton. If you're really into sports, you know Ken Singleton. He's a baseball player. Big time. Mount Vernon High School. Damn. Makes me wonder. Why they all wind up in Mount Vernon High School? You know why? Mount Vernon High School was a bedroom community of New York City. When they want to live in the city, they went to places like Mount Vernon. Earl Tatum, Rudy Hackett, Ray Williams, basketball. I mean, I went over this already. Gus Williams, Ray Benjamin, Isaiah Cousins. God damn. Pretty good list, actually. Did I really know any of these people? No, I've seen Denzel in the lunchroom, but he was just Denzel at the time. I didn't know him from shit that he's going to turn out to be somebody famous, Rudy Giuliani, he might have. I didn't get a complete list. A lot of people came from Mount Vernon, New York. Dancers, singers, sports people, actors. It's amazing. Yeah, that's what I said, Denzel was, for what I could ever remember of him, and I didn't. He wasn't a friend or nothing. He used to get involved with when they put on these shows and stuff on stage at the high school and stuff. He would get involved in there. He would hang out at the boys' club, and eventually he wound up being, when he became rich and famous, he contributed to fix the place up and made it into a boys and girls club. He's actually helped them out. He's helped a lot of people out. He's a well-rounded guy. I don't recall him being, racial in any way. And this is going back a long time, and I can't honestly tell you everything about him because I didn't know him well. I might have said hi to him somewhere and didn't know. He's just regular Denzel at the time. He wasn't famous or nothing, but that's about it. That's about as far as it goes with Denzel. With me, had me in my high school. I think he was either a year ahead or a year behind. I know we were both born. He was born. I'm born in May '54. He was born in December. So I'm not sure. I never even attended graduation, guys. I told you, man. I wanted in school and I wanted out. I didn't go to my own graduation. I just picked up my goddamn diploma. What is that?
I'm looking for the
Cover?
cover. Yeah, then what color you want to put?
Well, a neutral color goes with everything neutral. You keep it neutral. What we got in there? You keep it neutral. You don't want any crazy looking colors for the couch. You don't want that. But yeah, some amazing people came from my high school. There's even a guy you've never heard of. He was an ambassador.
Gray.
Gray? Nah, too dismal. Nah. We'll talk about this after my show. Where was I? Got my train of thought on there. Went way off here. Oh, Stuart Stogel. That's an interesting guy. No one would ever believe that would happen to him. Stuart Stogel. I want to talk about this. Stuart had a, neurological something condition, an OCD thing or something. And Stuart Stogel was a guy that kind of looked like Spock from Star Trek. His ears, everything, his face. And the lockers were in the hallway. And Stuart was not a dumb guy, but he was very intelligent. He would go to the locker, and it's like, you got a shelf up there to put stuff, and then you got the rest to hang things, right? Then at the bottom, you could put shoes and all that. You get books and all that. Stuart would go over to the locker and created quite a scene. And he'd go there like he was really indecisive. His hands were going up and down. Should I grab this from the top? Should I grab this from the bottom? He could do that for 5 minutes straight. Stand there, his hand was going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And a lot of the black chicks, for some reason, well, we could talk about this afterwards, okay? I don't want to divert my attention right now. Well, plenty of time to talk about decor. Thank you. And again, here goes my train of thought again. Oh my God. Stuart Stogel turned out to be some kind of an ambassador. To what country? I don't know. Son of a gun wound up being a fucking ambassador. An ambassador. We had another guy, and I don't know what happened to him. I don't think he lived long. I think he had encephalitis. This guy actually looked like the cover of Mad Magazine, Alfred E. Newman thing. I am not kidding. He used to walk around with this transistor radio between his ear and his shoulder, holding it up. He had the red hair, the freckles, the big ears that came out. He was a Alfred E. Newman look-alike. He was a look-alike. But again, all these people were intelligent. Now, I don't think, I never kept track of him, and I forgot his name. I don't think he's still alive because he had encephalitis or something, water on the brain. Yeah. Remember that he was probably 1 year behind him. Yeah. But yeah, that's one of the most successful people in the world is this particular guy, Denzel Washington. It's an honor that he went to my school. I wish I had him as a friend, but see, back in those days, there was a separation of the blacks and whites, and the blacks kind of hung out with each other, and the whites did that too. In fact, the blacks in my school used to constantly taunt and bully a lot of white people. I mean, hey, it's not a racial thing. I'm sorry. It's just a fact what was going on in my school. So everybody kind of had their own groups. You know how that works. Shut up usually. Yeah. Oh, they just liked laughing at him. It was mostly them. They would gather around him and just have a scream. Let's look at this fucked up white boy. Look what he's doing. It wasn't very nice. Of course, it wasn't very nice. He couldn't help whatever neurological condition he had. Some obsessive condition. Oh yeah, we had some characters in that school. There's no doubt about that. We had some characters. Famous people come from my school. Look at me, I'm famous. I'm famous on YouTube. I've been published. I got work in the archives of New York City. 2 bodies of work. Been published in magazines. My name was on a movie. I don't know. I had my 15 minutes of fame, I guess. So, and I came from Mount Vernon High School, bros. Something better than kicking the ass, right? Was it like the Sosh and the Greasers? Yeah, we had all those groups. Yeah, Jets and the Sharks. Yeah, you had your jocks. You had your eggheads, which were the brainy people. We had the Greasers, which car mechanics are type, and a lot of them are usually Italian. I hate to say it, but they were. The Greasers were Italian, and the slick down hair and the Jesus, you know, jewelry around their neck. Buttons come down about 4 notches. Yeah, we had that type. We had the artistic type too, a very artistic, very creative types. We had the people done the debating teams and that kind of they come from good families normally. Debating teams. Where everybody else masturbated, but they debated. I wasn't involved really with any of those groups. I was original. A prison sentence. I wanted out as soon as possible. Lay low. That was me. That was me. I wanted to lay really low. I just wanted it out. I took the bus back home. That was it. I guess I was a homeboy. I was. I'm not gonna hide it. I was a homeboy. I just did. You know, Even when I was a kid, I didn't really feel like being a whole shitload of fucking people hearing all their bullshit. Same as you. It was like a prison sentence. Yeah, I wanted. Yeah. George says, Geoge says that. Hey, how about some thumbs up? If you guys are not fucking donating, at least give me a thumbs up on here. We got 17 watching here and 7 thumbs up. Okay, I don't see no action that way. Put up or shut up. You know what I mean? It'd be kind enough to give a thumbs up or whatever. Okay, that's nice. We got 1 extra thumbs up on here. Yeah. I took a trolley. Oh, we were in San Francisco or something. Goes the trolley. Let me start singing here. Hey, I really envy people that took ferries, over in Washington State. Oh, Philadelphia, okay. Are you a Southie or something in Philly? Were you a Southie? I like the way everybody gets labeled, no matter where you live, Southeast and whatever, Oh, West, okay. You're okay there. Southeast, well, they just figured they were the toughest people on the fucking planet when they really weren't. Even Chicago people thought they were tough, but New Yorkers could kick all their asses, Sorry, I know you come from Philly, but they had rough towns in Philly. I know a lot about Philly. They had some really rough, just some really rough neighborhoods in Philly. There's no doubt about that. They had some tough people. Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying you didn't. But I'm saying, pound for pound per square meter, I think New York had the toughest people. Not because I came to New York. I lived there. I know what it was like. I think they had the toughest crowd in New York. The different boroughs. They were tough ass people, man, that you didn't want to fuck with. And I'm not talking about the mafia, nothing like that. We're just talking about people in general. They weren't scared to fight anybody. I mean, they just put it all out. Yeah. But, hey, Philly. Oh, yeah, there's some tough ass people in Philly. Absolutely. There's tough people anywhere. But Chicago people, I never gave them an ounce of praise how tough they were. They even think they make the best pizza, but they don't, I'm not big on Chicago pizza. Well, at least somebody's agree with me here. Chicago pizza. Nah, I'm still with the New York pizza. Now I'm kind of pissed off because the place I was buying pizza, I got 1 piece left, closed down. But it's not that they were that great. So I found another place to go to, and there's a couple of places around here. Nobody knows how to make real pizza, though, Geoge, are you West Philadelphia born and raised like the Fresh Prince? I should have a lot more than 18 people on here, but then they got probably tired of Kevin's show and they said, I heard enough. I don't feel like listening to anybody more shows. Did Kevin make any donations on that show? I mean, he always got John Balut. They got a thing going on with each other. I don't know what it is. He's always donating to Kevin. Oh, Kensington. God damn. Hey, I see a lot of shit about Kensington on Facebook. Holy shit. Zombies, man, that's the word. They're so drugged out. Well, same thing I grew up without too. Not as bad as some people, but pretty close sometimes, Kensington, holy shit. I see more and more stuff on that. It's zombie land for sure. Kensington. Whew, holy crap. You'd think it was some fucking zombie movie, but it's real. They have somebody that I've seen it more than once going by with their video camera and they're photographing the conditions in Kensington area there. It's real. It's real. Kensington, for some reason, is seem to be in the limelight. But you go to Seattle, you see a lot of that shit too. It's always been like that in Seattle. It's too bad about Seattle. It had promise. It died. It died. It really did. I mean, it was wonderful at one time that even I would tell you that, hey, I used to tell people, man, hey, just a place to be. But then it changed. More of the drug addicts moved in, the prostitution, strip clubs, all that shit, that they wind up getting rid of a lot of them. Maybe all of them now. I'm not sure. You know how they got away? You know how the strip clubs got away with still having their strip clubs and not being thrown out? They call it a gentleman's club, and it's private, which means that the public just couldn't walk in there. That's how they got away with it. That it was a private business, and that's how they're able to still do this. And I think they're still doing it in the greater Seattle area. I knew a guy that ran this. His father was a racketeer. A guy named Frank. We need Frank Rizzo. In fact, speaking of Frank, his name was Frank, and his father's name was Frank. And I'm not going to give you his last name. But they had these strip joints all over, even Canada. They had them in Seattle, went in the name of honeys and sugars, and there was a lot of shit going on in there, man. It was coke being bought and sold. It was crazy. And they had to do jail. His father did a long time in jail. Then his father died and went to jail, and he took over the business. But he got fucked over, too. But they were making money. I knew this guy because he was dating some chick. And I used to hang out with him now and then. We went up the country together and all that, and he had a really bad face. He had a really terrible complexion. But he used to drive one of those kit cars, where the doors flip up, because his father provided. He was the only child, I think, and his father provided, but his father taught him the business. Yeah. So there's a lot of that going on. So a lot of prostitutes were in Seattle, greater Seattle area and other, and then the Mexicans were moving in like crazy, opening up taco stands, and crime went to holy hell in the town. Then it got really bad with drugs were so prevalent all over the downtown area of Seattle, Washington. And the city council didn't want to do anything about it. They were telling the police, "No, don't arrest them. We got too many in our jails already." And they ruled the streets. They were going crazy in the streets for their drug. There was guys that were coming out of these, like, you never see those wire cage garbage cans? I saw one scene in there where this guy is just out of his mind. He's standing in one of those wire cage garbage trash cans and just saying and doing crazy things with his arms. They're robbing people, needles all over the parks. It just went to hell. And some of the most prominent people got out of Seattle that swore it was called the Emerald City, one of the names. And they swore it was the greatest place in the world. And for half the time I was there, I thought it was too. I mean, the women, oh, please. We won't go into that. Beautiful women in Seattle. Beautiful. All kinds of ethnicities. Just beautiful. Had more women in my life than I ever had in my entire life. My existence of living in Seattle. I'm not kidding. Kit car, yeah, it's a kit car with the gold wing doors. Yeah. Frank used to drive that around. I never got to go in that with him. We went in his pickup truck. Went up the country, went four-wheeling with his girlfriend. I wound up having sex with. She was a runaround. Frank knew it. Frank was screwing all the strippers at the club anyway. I knew that. He knew that, Hello, sex pet hunter. Hey, we're monetized now, Bobos. We certainly are. We're having a nice dialogue here with a few people on here. So we're having a good old time. We did a show this morning, one of my philosophical shows. That went pretty well. But we decided to add another one here, but I didn't get really philosophical. Let's see. Sleepless Frank. Well, that's Timmy. Timmy writes me on. I can't see him on here though. He's on you can see it on Gilda's phone on my show. Timmy writes me all the time about Barry. You know, he writes me on my email a lot. I don't know why. What's the Rat Fair's big issue with Honeyco? I don't know. I don't give a shit. It doesn't phase my life at all. I don't know what you missed, really. No, we're having just a good old dialogue over here is what we're doing here. We're having a good old dialogue. And we're not going to do nothing fancy with the channel. We're not going to add PayPal. We already got a super chat thing on it. You can see the $ here now. We're not going to do no PayPal. We're not going to do anything else to the show. It is what it is. And whether it makes a penny or a dollar, it doesn't really matter to me. But we're not going to add anything to this like PayPal and so forth and all the other monetary avenues that one could achieve on here, because it's not a big issue here. It's not a big issue at all. It's not an issue at all, actually. People donate for the channel because they like it. That's all. I'll accept anybody's money. I don't care about that. It gives me more incentive to stay on, really. Enough of that being said. Yeah, we've had a pretty good dialogue here. GOG, Pennywise, Sexbat Hunter, and a few other people on here. I guess I interrupted Kevin's show a bit and people started fading away. Oh, it's right there. Look at the bottom. It's showing out right there. Can you see it on your phone?
No.
You can't see the chat. Can you see the chat on your phone? I see it right here. $. Go down below. Well, I see it here. Why would you not see it if I see it? You may not on a phone, actually, but on a computer. Oh, there it is. It's never gone away. It's been there since I started the show earlier. Do 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 and do to you. I just work on this system that if you appreciate the show, it's totally up to you whether you want to donate or not. That's just totally up to you. It's a personal thing, not necessary on my show. I'm already armed with the capability of Super Chat and AdSense. It's there for anybody to see, utilize, or not. He sees it. Yeah, it's hard to see. No, you don't see that on the phone, dear. Generally, you don't see. Is that my show? What are you looking at?
Yeah, I just try.
No, what are you? Wait.
It's me. I just don't play so.
Oh, well, you should donate too.
I donate a lot.
I said Gilda should donate. She's a rich girl here. Yeah, it's right there. I see it. It's on there. Okay. Now we got that figured out. That. As I said, I'm trying to make a few changes around here. Even a little renovation project I talked about earlier. I'm not going to go over that again, but it's something.
It's not really good. I want to go to port. I need to sending another salted fish.
More salted fish.
Order.
She sends out orders. She got to tell you, she's. It's amazing. It's a lot of things she does. Now, even that too. Another thing. She sends out orders of salted fish and stuff from here to people in Cebu. That's not, what her business is. That's not what her business is, but she does that too.
20 kilos scallop and 20 kilo of the crabs.
Wow. Cool. Yeah, people from Cebu appreciate it coming right from the source. This is a fishing village after all. Gotta love it.
I'm just waiting for the money sent, and then I pay, and then take my share. Then
That's the way to work it. Take your share, baby. Take your share. I'm waiting to get my share on here right now. I don't see one goddamn donation. Do you see any donations on here, Gilda?
no.
I don't see any donations. I guess if I change my name to Big Kevin, then maybe I'll have like John Balut donate or something. Yeah. Hey, I'm a fucking capitalist, man. We all are. Everybody wants to live better, but truthfully, I don't have any reason to put on shows on here anymore. And how many 50 million times I was just going to get the fuck off this? It popped up. What popped up? I told it. Oh, problem when I $2 purchase, it popped up. I don't know. I don't see anything on here, dude. Popped up. No. Hey, $2 is better than no dollars. I mean, hey, to me, that's generous. I mean, we don't put a price on donations on my show. It's the idea that you say, hey, man, what the fuck? We like listening to you. Change your name to Jasper so that meander that end, Todd might donate. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Wouldn't it be funny? Okay, once you guys carry on for just a couple of minutes, I'll be honest, I'm going to have a smoke. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm not going to lie. I've been sitting there for quite a while. And I just get fidgety when I sit here. Okay, when I come back, I'll probably see like 5 donations by then, right? Would that be true? Hey, man, I'm a capitalist like anybody else. I mean, if you want to do something on YouTube and spend the time on here, it's your time. I'm not getting any fucking younger, man. I'm spending my time on here. If phonies like Ricky can make money on here by lying to people, I'm going to be honest with people and try to do it in a different way. It came up on my cell phone. Okay, I'll be right back. I just want to converse with my sweetheart, but I don't think she wants to really have a conversation with you guys. Okay, I will be right back. Don't go away. More to come. More to come. Oh, you caught me on that one. I just got a haircut, by the way. I'm looking pretty sharp. Pretty sharp. Pretty sharp. Be back in a couple.
Which is the super chat.
Oh, every time I push the dollar sign and it just pops up. There is a problem processing your purchase.
See, I tried.
I'm using a Samsung phone. The Guild is trying too here.
See, I tried. See?
It doesn't make any.
Unable to send.
That's really amazing. Unable to.
See.
Yeah, I'm not. It's one thing after another. I even went to the settings and I enabled the super chat on there. I even went to the settings, and
I tried to purchase something.
yeah, I'm not sure what it is. Each time I push the dollar sign, this pops up. There's a problem processing your purchase. I'm using a Samsung phone. Is anyone else? Yeah, Gilda's experiencing. She's experimenting. She's experimenting with this.
Because I'm
And he wants to purchase some extra salted fish. Not from me. Come on down, Ricky. We'll give you salted fish, all right. With toxin inside of it. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I could check into this later, but this is engaged. Show your support. There we go. Celebrate the Philippines. Your mounted message will be public. Let's see what happens now. Buy and send. That's something I'm posting. I'm not going to purchase my own. No, you don't see what I see. I hit on that thing is what I did. I'm not sure. I can't answer that for you. I don't know. There's always been a bug in my system. Finally got paid for my AdSense, finally. In fact, I got to check the machine today if it went through on my ATM. Not an enormous amount of money, but hey, what the fuck? It is what it is. It's not going to, declare whether I have a good dinner tonight or not. But still, went through on my thing, and I went to the settings. There's a thing on there where you could enable your super chat. So I hit on. Okay, and that registered. But I'm not sure why. I don't know. I'll look into it later after the broadcast, I guess. Not critical, but I'll check it out to see what's causing this problem. I really don't know. I finally, after I forgot how many months it took when I became monetized, I wasn't joking around. I had to wait for a PIN code that was coming from America. I'm not kidding. We finally got it. Was it yesterday morning or whatever it was? I finally got that. I said, wow, it actually came. I don't believe this. I was wondering if it was ever going to come. Of course, that doesn't drive my channel. It never did, monetized or not. It's never been a big issue for me. Because fortunately, I don't have to rely on it. Super chats basically to me is a way of saying that, we appreciate your channel. We appreciate your content. We want to give you encouragement to stick around here. And hey, financial encouragement is always welcome. It's always welcome. And my money doesn't go toward an Xbox or any shit like that. I don't have any funds or causes for the money. I have none at all. None. 13 watching and 12 thumbs up. It's a pretty good ratio here. Okay, so we're approaching 11 o'clock. Not too bad for this time, I guess. But yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Thank you for trying to send a super chat. I have no idea what it is. I did enable it. I could tell you that. I'm not fucking around with you. I enabled it. Why wouldn't I? And I thought it was all go on here, but just kind of like no way I could attend to that while I'm actually doing a show. Actually, there's a settings button on the side here, and let's see. Monetization is on. Let's see. Well, it does say that monetization is on. Choose how you want to earn money from your stream. Monetization on or off, and it's on. Yeah, but there was another section on here. Okay, I don't know where it is. There was another section I went to earlier. I could probably only do this offline, but where I did see the choices that you had on there that you could enable, that allows you to enable your super chat. And I hit on that. That's all you could do, hit on. And you figured it's okay. Well, it did show the dollar sign symbol on here, but a few of you people are having a problem actually donating, even though the dollar sign is right there. I don't know. I don't have the answers to everything in the world, I do my best. Do my best to get up in the morning to face the day. Can't control everything on my show here, but damn, I try hard to kind of remedy the problems I might have on my live shows as far as getting monetization and getting it to actually work. It's like I even got fucking paid for my AdSense, finally. It took that freaking long. They wanted to have my firstborn or something, Can't have that. I'm just kind of curious Is anybody on my show? Tell me your whereabouts. Are you in the Philippines? You live in outside? I know one is not. Who is actually living in the Philippines? Who wants to say so? And who's not living in the Philippines? I'd be curious to know. Because I get a lot of my audience that are outside of the Philippines. And that's an interesting question. Why my audience is outside of the Philippines. So if you could answer that, that would be great. If I look at my analytics on here, I'll have to check it again later to see where the resources, where people are actually coming from. What's the percentage of people that are in the Philippines and outside? Chat disconnected. Wait a while. Try to reconnect. I don't know if you can still hear me, but I'm just reading a message here that chat is disconnected. Please wait while we try to reconnect. And let me see if I go to my own phone here, to my own show. Wasn't it incredible, all the famous people that came from my town? I thought it was. I never knew it was that many. Is Kevin still on? No, he's off. He keeps on saying that there's so many people watching on there where there's nobody. He's ended his broadcast. Yeah, my ass.
But hey.
Okay, listen, let me go to my show. It says live. No. That's okay. Listen, let me go to my show. It says live. Okay. Super chat, make your message stand out. No. That's okay. Listen, let me go to my show. Okay, it's showing a $ on my phone. Of course, I'm using a computer right now to talk to you all. But on my phone, it does show the $ on here. Ain't that interesting? If you guys could figure it out, let me know, because I really don't. Chat filter, top messages, community moderation. They don't give you much choices on the phone here. All messages. I don't know. Well, anyway, thanks for your efforts anyway, for wanting to send a super chat. That's cool. No biggie. But we'll try to look into this. I promise you that. And just, I mean, if that is just, curiosity. It seems to sound like on my phone. We'll try to look into this. I promise you that. And just, I mean, if that is just, curiosity. It seems to sound like on my phone. Try to look into this. I promise you that. Okay. Everything's coming through fine on the phone here. Okay, well, thank you all for listening here. I don't really want to be on here all day. And a couple of things we have to do. It's getting pretty hot part of the day here. It started getting really hot about 10 o'clock, really. I know Minganilla, Cebu had a lot of rain yesterday. Did we have any rain overnight? No, it didn't reach us. Yeah, that Hawaii situation is pretty incredible. I got to keep in tune with how many deaths there are now in Hawaii. And there was some stuff on the Big Island where I live too. There was a few fires there too. They're really going through a really big drought, and I've seen some droughts since I've lived out there. And whoever thinks it doesn't get hot in Hawaii, it does. Maybe not always as hot as here, and sometimes as hot. Usually by August is the hottest season, the hottest time of the year. And it gets crazy. Even in Seattle, Washington, they're having problems there with a drought too. So those that are curious about whether there's climate change or not, yeah, there's climate change going on. It's definitely. I don't think there's any question about that whatsoever. Just obviously, there, Florida, most of Florida is going to be underwater in the future. There's certain areas in Florida that's already having problems with the sea level in Florida already. That's been happening quite a while. There are Pacific Islands out there that are actually disappearing. Some that have actually over the years have actually disappeared. They used to have thousands of people on it. Now you maybe got a handful of people on there. People decided to stay until the end. There's a lot of shit going down the pipe. It's happening. There is climate change going on. Now, in my lifetime, do I have to worry about it? Well, if I live a long time, I might be concerned. Is it going to get hotter in the Philippines? Chances are that it might actually get hotter. But understand something. When the sea temperature gets really warm, that will aggravate and create perfect conditions for hurricanes, typhoons. I think there's going to be more and more typhoons in the Philippines. That's my thought on that. And it's not going to stop. Pennywise. You know what? I'm seeing your message on the phone, Pennywise, but I'm not seeing your name on the computer. Pennywise said that you should host a fundraiser for your beloved Hawaiian Islands fire victims. No, I don't. Look, frankly, I don't give a shit about what happens in Hawaii. I hate to say that. I don't want to see people die. I don't want to see animals die. I don't want to see that at all. It doesn't matter what your income is, whether you're rich as a bitch, I don't want to see that happen to people, but my fondness for Hawaii, just kind of faded away. And it wasn't, the land and the beauty of it. And I tell you 50 million times, it was just the attitude of the people. But then the rich snobs that moved into the island made it worse. They created a separatism on there, gated communities, as if to say, I don't want to deal with the natives out here. And the natives, Hawaiians, they seen that too, and they developed an even further attitude. Yeah, I've seen this in person. I've seen it live. I've seen it, one to one. I've seen it. People don't give a fuck. The attitudes really sucked. So I'm very glad I got out of there. Oh, Norman Jackson says, see, I'm not getting all my messages. My chat has been. Are you guys hearing me right now? Let me know if you are. I'm not seeing all these messages here. I'm seeing it on my phone, but not on my screen. As Norman Jackson says, 110 death toll today in Hawaii, saying it could be. Do you think it happened from a power line? Do you think a power line? They think actually sparked it? Yeah. Why am I seeing you guys' messages? I'm seeing it on my phone, but I'm not seeing any new messages popping up here. Uh-oh, I went off screen. Am I still on here? On the phone, it looks like I'm on here. I don't know what the hell I just did. Sometimes you gotta leave well enough alone, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you do. Just leave well enough alone. Where is the screen? Larry Ellison, the founder of Help Out His Fellow Hawaiian Residents. Well, there's a lot of rich... dudes, let me tell you, there's a lot of rich people in Hawaii. Don't kid yourself. Some of the richest people in the world living in New York and Hawaii. Okay, I don't know where my screen... Let me see. Live streaming. Let me hit this button up here on the tabs. Here we go. All right. You saw me. Okay. But I'm still not seeing a change on my comment section on the actual computer. And I'm not sure what's causing that. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, we had a pretty good show this morning, including my earlier. Anyway, we are enabled now for Super Chat. Whatever. It's a personal decision whether you want to Super Chat the channel in the future or not. Either way, it works for me. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Some people just don't have the money. Or some people just rather donate to a terrible cause, like hateful people that are creating drama, and they'd rather encourage that kind of shit. We don't do that on my show, whether I make money or not. That just ain't part of the whole game plan with my show, and it never really has to. I don't advocate that kind of crap anywhere, especially on my show. But you're aware of it anyway. Okay, I'm going to go here because there's some things we got to do, and I got to fully start getting dressed here. Thanks for shooting by. We'll catch you on the next stream. We'll see if we can iron out the bugs in here. I don't know what's causing that, because the show certainly shows out to me, but when you try to do a super chat on here, it's not doing that. So I'm not sure why. We'll go into my settings later on, and we'll see if I missed something on there. I don't know. Yeah. And for those with the goodness in their heart that wanted to donate, thank you for your thought anyway. I'm sorry that the technical errors prevented you from doing so. There's always another time. So I'm going to get out of here. I'll do a show tomorrow morning probably. We're done for the day. I've already done 2 shows today, which is crazy. I don't want to do that much. Nevertheless, even 1 per day. But I'm glad I do have a support system on here. And I wouldn't last as long as I have if I didn't have some kind of support system. Friend or foe, I'm still being supported on here. Not necessarily financially on my super chats, but I never had much monetization on my show in my history, so that kind of explains that. That being said, I'm here because you're there. We'll catch you on the next show. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll try to keep it topical. I know what you guys want. Okay, we must locked up Ricky next. Well, whatever. He'll do that on his own. You get too cocky on YouTube, man. Only bad things come your way. He'll see his day. Don't worry about that. They all do. Remember, they all float. They all float, don't they? They all float. There we go. You beat me to the punch on that. Pennywise. By the way, say hello to Warren out there. He's not on this show here. But Warren is actually Johnny Wad, if you haven't figured that out already. Just kind of let you know. Okay, thank you. We're out of here. So I'm saying, hey, Barry, I know you're listening. You got nothing else better to do. How's life behind bars, my boy? Yeah, you had to open your mouth, huh? You had to open your mouth. You had to be cocky, didn't you? Yeah. God, I should have like a ton of money coming in for getting Barry in jail. I'm really shocked at my audience. I have to be really honest with you. I'm really shocked. I mean, Pennsylvania, he reneged on his deal, and other people reneged too. Mike Ross, all promising $50K if I got the motherfucker in jail. And nobody came through. Bunch of looky-loos, you know what I mean? Yeah. God, I did your dirty work, and I don't get rewarded for that? Seriously? Come on, guys. Yeah. My God, Magnum. We're out of here. Another day, perhaps, right, guys? Another day.